So, Star Wars Visions Season 3 is returning to its anime roots, with sequel episodes to The Duel and The Ninth Jedi, just to name a few. This means the removal of global animation studios, with the intent to hone in on the ever-growing popularity of anime among Gen Z and young millennials. Personally, I think this is a bad idea. The removal means losing the distinctive Western approach to storytelling. Season 2's Screecher's Reach is the series' peak of mature storytelling under the lens of children animation. But I get it. Star Wars Visions is ultimately a creative endeavor to return to the roots of Star Wars, not anime. George Lucas, for decades, has acknowledged Akira Kurosawa's work as inspiration, primarily 1958's The Hidden Fortress, for the original and prequel trilogies. In a 2001 interview with Criterion Collection, he explained, "The one thing that really struck me about The Hidden Fortress was the fact that the story was told from the perspective of the two lowest characters. I decided that would be a nice way to tell the Star Wars story, which in this case was the two droids. Samurais are the base for the Jedi archetype. Kurosawa's Wandering Ronin was literally Vision's first episode debut. The team behind the series aren't shying away from Lucas's influences. An expansion outside of the Japanese sphere perhaps dilutes the message." Reception for Season 1 was certainly different to the second. While Season 1 had bigger lows, with the likes of Tatooine Rhapsody getting a 5.2 on IMDb, it had far more memorable highs with The Duel, The Elder, and of course, The Ninth Jedi, whereas Season 2 mediated at around 7 out of 10 with all of their episodes. Visually, I think the creative direction in Season 2 was brilliant. Sif, the Spy Dancer, and Ayu's song were masterclasses in 2D and 3D animation, whereas Season 1 had a lot of overlap when isolated into one country's creative industry. But at the same time, I Am Your Mother by the historic Aardman Animation was not received very well by hardcore Star Wars fans. Anime, by contrast, has developed decades of teen and adult stories within the same medium, but it also carries its own tropes, such as narration, pacing, and fan service that can feel like a barrier to entry for those who didn't grow up immersed in the form. And I think that's where I stand. I found Season 2 approaching their stories with show don't tell, respecting the viewer to read between the lines and pick up the subtext of the situation was its strengths. Whereas I can't stand the monstrous amounts of internal dialogues played by anime, so maybe this series isn't geared towards me, and that's fine, and I'm excited to see Season 3 grow Visions to new heights. But what do you think? Perhaps you disagree with me. Let me know why in the comments down below. Or for more Star Wars shorts, you can check out this one, appearing on the end screen now.